G'day guys, I'm just popping in to do a little Bitcoin and ETH update. I think it's been a few days since I've done one, and just having a look at Bitcoin. I think on the larger time frames, I think we're in a period of consolidation now. So I think we're most likely in a triangle where this triangle is going to consist of five waves. So it'll be A, B, C, D, E. We know a triangle is a 3-3-3-3 structure, so I dare say this will be the sort of A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we'll go another A, B, C, and then we'll break out. I think time-wise, it'll probably last another uh, another 3 to 4 days before we actually break out. I think this is going to be good for alts. I'm actually not long Bitcoin at the moment, even though I think it's still bullish. I think from a spot perspective, I think you're best off, or well, this is my opinion anyway, but I think you're best off playing alts until Bitcoin actually does break out and then rotate. So basically I'd be looking to get into Bitcoin here once it breaks out and retests. I think that would be the ultimate time to get into Bitcoin, just because I think right now, even if Bitcoin ranges, even if it pops up from here, if it pops up, like 6-7%, it's 6-7%. I think some of these alts are already doing that, in an hour, let alone waiting for Bitcoin to do that in a day or two. So obviously, I think the structure is still very much bullish, but I think opportunity cost right now for being in Bitcoin is just too great, in my opinion, with some of these alts like ARV. DeFi alts, Cream, Link, just some of these alts are just going absolutely ballistic. Even ETH, I'm looking at ETH now. So ETH is kind of in well, on hourly, we can see this very bullish triangle, A, B, C, D, E. All waves are accounted for. It looks like it's about to break out now. That's on the lower time frames. But even FBTC, we can see, obviously, on FBTC on the weekly, we can see this very obvious big inverse head and shoulders. Everyone can see it. Trading doesn't need to be hard. Like this, even though it's very obvious, this just looks like it's going to moon. Everything about it is bullish. We've got a very clear inverse head and shoulder. It's breaking out of this this right shoulder downtrend now. All the volumes in the right shoulder, which is indicative that it is actually a real head and shoulder and not a fake out. So that's on the weekly. Then we can zoom in on the FBTC, even lower time frames. We can see it's broken out of this this downtrend that started in August. It reaccumulated for a couple of weeks. About 6? Yeah, so reaccumulated for 2 weeks. It's breaking out now against the Bitcoin pair. It's breaking out of this smaller triangle on the USD pair. So I think things like ETH, for me, it's just a more obvious long. I'm happy to jump back into Bitcoin once it starts to break out of this structure. But for now, I think opportunity cost of being in Bitcoin is too high, and I would much rather be in alts. Maybe not like full low cap degen alts, like 20 mil market cap stuff. I think that might sort of come later. I still think we're in the high cap season. FBTC is only just looking like it's going to start a monster run. So if these are large caps which are going to start running, I don't particularly think that the smaller caps are worth playing just yet, unless they're DeFi. I think obviously DeFi is really hot. I've been in some stuff like Cream, which has just absolutely been on a fucking moon mission. I'm happy to play lower cap DeFi stuff, but when it comes to other alts that aren't DeFi, yeah, I think it's far too early to be in the lower cap stuff, with the large caps still only just starting to outperform now. So obviously looking at FUSD on the lower time frames, we're going to break out of this consolidation period, but I'll just hop onto a different chart that's not FTX because it doesn't have quite as much data. But basically looking at FUSD on the weekly time frames, it's barely even, this is an old P&L thing, so don't ignore that. But it hasn't even made all-time highs yet. It's sort of consolidating for 3 weeks, just below this all-time high here. I think, this is just looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, and based on what Bitcoin did when it got up to its all-time highs, I have a feeling ETH is just going to moon mission. I dare say 2,500 to 3,000 will be a pretty logical target, but this is just very bullish. To me, this is just a whole series of 1-2s. This would be sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, because this would also be a 1-2. So it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a feeling we're still in some kind of extended wave 3 up. It's following Bitcoin structure. BTC is starting to finally look bullish on the high time frames. Big inverse head and shoulders. Like it's just so fucking in your face obvious that this is going to pump. So I just feel like being long Bitcoin here would just be a waste. Even though it is bullish, I think you can compound your gains easier by being in ETH or alts or whatever you want to be in, and then kind of swap out of them as Bitcoin begins to break out, which I dare say will be in a few more days yet to come. So I think alts are probably going to start breaking out very soon, and Bitcoin is going to maybe take another week even. Stuff like FTT, and I've been talking about this one a lot on the Bitcoin pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, big ABC. It's coming up to this major downtrend now. The USD pairs in like absolute price discovery. I'll just fuck these off so it's easy to see. But yeah, I mean, I think FTT is going to $20, potentially higher. This is like a monster uptrend here. You know, we had this big channel that started from 2019, has only just broken out now. So FTT isn't stopping anytime soon. We have this sort of inverse head and shoulder whiff trend that it's breaking out of now. The FTT BTC pair looks like it's putting a major low. And I just think, you know, if you pick some of these strong alts, ride those. We can rotate back into Bitcoin later once this structure sort of plays out and begins to break out. Because even though it is somewhat bullish, I think there is time to make more money in alts for the meantime. I think if this is a triangle, we're still only halfway through it. We're only just halfway through the D wave now, where this D wave will likely consist of 3 waves. And then another 3 waves for E, and then it'll probably break out, then probably retest. And I think by the time that's all done, it'll still be from here another, you know, sorry, I'll just get the time date range. It'll probably still be like another 5 days or so. So yeah, I'm not too worried about being long Bitcoin at the moment. If you're playing it with leverage, I mean, I'm sure that'll be fine if you're doing longer dated futures. But for spot wise, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, but I just feel like I'm not really interested in being in Bitcoin right now. I think there's better opportunity elsewhere, even in stuff like ETH, and then further on down the risk chain and the lower cap DeFi stuff like ARV. I'm super bullish on breaking out of a symmetrical triangle now. I think ARV's going to $250 easily. The big scheme of things, ARV ETH is looking bullish. So if we're bullish on ETH and ARV ETH looks bullish still needs to break above this first 5 waves, which is at 0.17. So if we're bullish on ETH and we think ETH is going higher, but we're also bullish on ARV against ETH, that only makes sense to think that ARV USD is still going to moon a lot more from here. ARV BTC is the same. I think this is sort of an ABC. We're still in a wave 3 of potentially a C now. So I still think even ARV BTC has still got gas in the tank, maybe 30%, 40% higher. Potentially even more. This could even start turning into like a monster wave 3. And I don't even know. But I'm very bullish on ARV. I'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, for now, you know, these are the sorts of things that I think you should be looking out for. Because if we're bullish on ETH BTC and we think ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin, then if you start looking at some lower cap stuff and you think these, well, for me, ARV, but if you think they look bullish against ETH, they're probably going to fucking moon in USD values. So they're the ones I think we're at that season now where ETH is looking really bullish, and we should be trying to beat ETH as our benchmark. So if the whatever altcoin you're trading doesn't look bullish against ETH, you're probably better off just being in ETH because yeah, that's the benchmark for me for the foreseeable future, especially with FBTC looking the way it is on the high time frames. Like this is a weekly chart, so this could potentially mean that FBTC sort of outperforms BTC for like, you know, the better part of the rest of the year. You know, I'm not entirely sure just yet, but right now it looks fucking bullish. But yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing across the board. So yeah, sweet as. Cheers, guys.